States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Clark?
Here.
Mr. Redmond?
Here.
Ms. Ryan is absent. Mrs. Wells? Here. Mayor Nolan?
Here. Can we do a moment of silence for Roland Eldridge, one of the longtime Highlands residents of Massachusetts? May you rest in peace. We have a presentation in recognition of our fire department from Brunswick. It says, and I'm going to read it, Chief Wells, on behalf of the residents of North Brunswick Township and our emergency services, I'm writing to express our profound appreciation to your fire company for coming to our aid during the largest fire in our township history. I think we all saw it on the news, heard it on the radio when driving. Your efforts combined with so many others prevented the fire from spreading into neighborhoods, properties, and becoming an even more horrendous ordeal. The support North Brunswick received from so many emergency service personnel is truly remarkable. There are no words that will adequately express our thanks to you for all of your assistance. To have witnessed the professionalism, dedication, and coordination of so many first responders in one location was an amazing inspiration to us all. North Brunswick is truly grateful. Thank you, Mayor Francis M. Womack. On July 22nd, 2015, the North Brunswick Fire Department responded to a call at 1600 Livingston Ave that turned into a 5-day extinguishment in one of the largest warehouse fires in our state. A call went out to the county OEM for mutual aid assistance, and for 5 long days, the fire community in our state and our neighboring states continuously supported and responded to our needs in assisting us in extinguishing this fire. On behalf of myself, the North Brunswick Fire Department, and our police department, OEM, county OEM, we would like to sincerely thank you and your department and each and every one of you for outstanding dedication, professionalism, unselfish support. We commend you for a job well done. As a token of our appreciation and the overwhelming brotherhood you have all displayed during our extreme needs, please accept the enclosed plaque as a memento of our achievement and our gratitude to all you have done. Once again, thank you and be safe. Chief Donald Salvin Sr. Basically, the plaque's 960 firefighters, 237 pieces of apparatus, 10,000 plus gallons of water, in appreciation to your help and support. 1600 Livingston Ave, July 22nd through 26, 2015. I'm going to give you 2 copies for now. Okay. You have the original first. Thank you, sir. What's next on the agenda, Carol?
The consent agenda?
Okay, does anybody have anything on there they want to take off, talk about, or speak? Okay, no? Okay. Okay. I will offer that.
Offered by Mayor Nolan.
I second it.
Second by Mr. Redmond. Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Ms. Wells? Yes. Mayor Nolan.
Yes, please.
It takes us to other resolutions. Resolution R-15-224, resolution appointing housing authority member.
I'd like to offer reappointing Ellen Williams. She's already on there, and the term will go to November 30th, 2020.
Yes. Offered by Mayor Nolan.
I'll second it.
Second by Ms. Wells. Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Ms. Wells?
Yes.
Mayor Nolan.
Yes, please.
Resolution R-15-227, resolution authorizing transfer of surplus.
Yes, Mr. Brunswick, can you speak to this? Because I know some of the council members had some questions, and maybe the public does too.
I sure can. Tonight we have on the agenda there to transfer funds, $65,000 out of the police salary account, going into the police operating account. And we had a budget meeting with the police department a week or so ago, and we have some capital needs in the police department, a CAD system and a repeater, which is a radio system there. And instead of dealing with these problems in 2016, we'd have to raise our budget and then the police chief there has some excess salary monies because of some personnel issues. So he has enough money within his own budget account to transfer from salaries to operating expenses. And this would take care of a 2016 problem in this year. So you don't have to address it next year. And I think
Okay. Any questions at the table? Okay, I'll offer it.
Offered by Mayor Nolan,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Redmond. Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Mrs. Wells?
Yes.
Mayor Nolan.
Yes.
Resolution R-15-231, resolution awarding contract for the Shrewsbury Avenue North Street project.
Anyone have any questions on this item?
Now, this one, there was different proposals. I believe there was A, option A and B.
Okay.
So I'll just need to know what is the council's pleasure.
Yeah. So we gave Dale a call, the engineer, just about a half hour ago, and his recommendation is to go with the base bid, proposal A, and include the alternate number 1, which is proposal B, and to go with Lucas Brothers, which is the lowest bidder, and that total bid would be $859,232.50.
And Pat, they're the lowest bidder because of the combined bid, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So that's well within our we're okay to do that, in the scope of the fair bidding process. Okay. Anybody have a suggestion on the table? You want to go with our engineer's recommendation? Okay, I'll offer it. Mr. Redmond offered it.
Offered by Mr. Redmond,
I'll second.
second by
Mr.
Mr. Carr. Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Ms. Wells?
Yes.
Mayor Nolan.
Yes.
Resolution R-15-232, resolution appointing crossing guard.
This was brought to our attention that we know we needed a crossing guard at 36 and Miller, I believe it is, Chief.
Yes.
And we lost the person that we were gonna put up there, let's just say that. And Chief has proposed somebody, it's the standard fee that we pay the crossing guards, and I'll offer that person.
Offered by Mayor Nolan,
I'll second it.
second by Ms. Wells. Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Mrs. Wells?
Yes.
Mayor Nolan.
Yes.
Resolution R-15-237, resolution accepting goals and objectives of the Highlands Business Partnership.
Anybody have any questions on that? I know we have Parliament.
I was at the meeting, everything presented in front of you was accepted by the board and membership.
Any real, I don't mean in a bad way, any changes from the past, other than trying to grow and go in the same direction?
Extending the season, more events, and the budget will remain the same.
Okay. Any offers from the table or questions?
I'll make the motion.
Offered by Mrs. Wells,
Okay, I'll second it.
second by Mayor Nolan. Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Ms. Wells?
Yes.
Mayor Nolan.
Yes.
Resolution R-15-238, resolution approving the HBP 2016 calendar events.
Same thing, it's
Again, more
standard
specific,
stuff,
standard stuff,
throw in a
yes.
couple events, follow anything you want.
How many more events? I think there's car show back. The car
Great,
show's
awesome.
back. Zombie walk. Popular demand.
Those were a lot of fun.
So,
Okay, you're okay with it, obviously, Carla, as written? Okay, I'll offer it.
Offered by Mayor Nolan,
I'll second it.
second by Ms. Wells. Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Mrs. Wells?
Yes.
Mayor Nolan.
Yes.
Resolution R-15-239, resolution appointing part-time clerical effective January 1st.
Okay. And so the public knows what rate we talked about making this potential candidate?
It'd be an annual salary of $6,000,
Okay.
effective January 1st.
Okay, any questions or concerns from the table? Okay, I'll offer it.
Offered by Mayor Nolan,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Redmond. Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Mrs. Wells?
Yes.
Mayor Nolan.
Yes.
All right, that's, we have one other thing, the addendum to the payment of bills.
Okay.
There was three additional items, Ventimiglia, Mr. Davis, and Mr. Gilson.
This is pursuant to a PBA agreement, so you're required to pay it, and it was just doing some final calculations today. And they were reviewed by my office, we're okay.
Okay, I'll make the motion.
Offered by
Any
Mrs.
questions
Wells,
at the table?
No.
I'll second it.
second by Mayor Nolan. Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Mrs. Wells?
Yes.
Mayor Nolan.
Yes.
And then Bruce,
We have R-15-240, it's asking for a resolution to approve the addendum to the contract with T&M to be the grant administrator for the streetscape project. All it does is the council reviewed the addendum today. It's language required by New Jersey EDA. It's really their boilerplate language that talks about affirmative action and things like that, and places obligations on T&M, not really on the borough. Has nothing to do with money, doesn't.
I was gonna say, so we know for the record, no
Yes.
money has changed, and
No.
no scope has changed, nothing?
Correct. No scope has changed, no financial.
Dollars and cents obligation to the borough, nothing?
Correct.
Okay. With that, I'll offer it.
Offered by Mayor Nolan,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Redmond. Mr. Card?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Mrs. Wells?
Yes.
Mayor Nolan.
Yes.
Discussion about the next meeting date.
Okay, that's great segue into it. So it seems like we're gonna have 4 out of the 5 council people not available for December 16th. So rather than, we're gonna have a meeting on December 28th. That's a Monday, same place, meeting here. 8 o'clock for the public, we'll have an executive at 7. So when you see the public hearing date on the next 2 ordinances that we're setting, they will be the 28th, not the 16th.
Thank you.
Okay? So we're trying to be proactive and not wait till that day and
Not
cancel.
wait to get here and say, oh.
We know right now, obviously, one of us is in, one of the council members is in the hospital, will not be out by then. And there was other things and nobody really realized it. So, first thing is, we're gonna set these public hearing dates for the 28th, correct?
Correct.
So that's gotta be changed and noticed the right way. The meeting will be noticed tomorrow, right? On
I'll
the
send it
website,
out.
everything that's being canceled, and at the next meeting is the 28th. So we're gonna introduce an ordinance amending code enforcement to set a public hearing date, correct?
Yes, on for introduction, setting of a public hearing date for December 28th is ordinance 0-15-24. An ordinance amending section 2-12.2 of the Borough Code of the Borough of Highlands to establish a full-time code enforcement position and amending the borough's salary ordinance to provide a maximum annual salary of $70,000 for the position of code enforcement officer.
And we're just setting the date for December 28th, correct?
Correct.
I'll offer that.
Offered by Mayor Nolan.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Ms. Wells. Mr. Card?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Mrs. Wells?
Yes.
Mayor Nolan.
Yes, please.
On for introduction, setting of a public hearing date for December 28th is ordinance 0-15-25, an ordinance amending ordinance 0-13-34, an ordinance establishing salaries and fixing the compensation of certain borough employees of the Borough of Highlands for 2013 to establish a maximum salary range for the position of municipal clerk of $70,240.
And that's for December 28th also, correct?
Correct.
I'll offer that.
Offered by Mayor Nolan.
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Redmond. Mr. Card?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Mrs. Wells?
Yes.
Mayor Nolan.
Yes.
Takes us to committee reports. We start with finance.
Okay, yeah, for finance, I have a report there at the last council meeting. In your packets include the results of 2 notes that were rolled over. One was a bond anticipation note, and the other one was a special emergency note. So the results of that, those quotes are included in the packet there. I'd like to note that the special emergency note went from $1,730,000 and it's currently at $875,000. So we managed to pay off in 1 year about $900,000 there. So it was a pretty good movement this year, and hopefully we'll make a good dent into that loan payment for next year as well. The order was released. We have a copy here distributed. There is really one audit comment that needs a corrective action plan. I'll be supplying that at the next council meeting, and has to do with a little bit more accounting for our trust funds. Okay, it's really no big deal, pretty minor, but you'll see a corrective action report followed on that.
Okay. Public safety?
We submitted our report to the Borough Clerk. We also, it should be on the Highlands NJ website, and tomorrow we'll have it up on our new Facebook page.
Captain Chief, thank you for the very support. Thank you. The League of Municipalities, they couldn't embrace that and more communication. I've seen it, it's great. Thank you for doing that.
And this will be up there in the future every time we have a report, correct, Chief?
Correct.
Thank you. Fire department?
Submitted the report, nothing there, 4 calls, and we had a structure fire in Atlantic Highlands.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Administration?
Yeah, Mayor, the Borough Administrative Report has been made available to the public. Just a couple things I want to touch on that we are working on to avoid some confusion. I know bulk pickup in December, we're probably going to have an issue on the 4th Thursday and Friday of the month due to a holiday, so we're working with M&S to see if we can work out an alternate schedule. At this point, though, if you're in zone 4, I wouldn't be putting your stuff out until you hear from us, or check with us. I don't think you want the stuff out Thursday, Friday, before Christmas or on Christmas Day. So we're trying to work with M&S to see if we can schedule an alternate pickup date. We have been addressing some sewer-related issues. Basically, we had a pipe clogged down on, I think, Atlantic Street. So we're dealing with some grease issues and things like that. So we want to remind residents and businesses to really keep an eye on what they're putting down the drains. We also pulled out some unsightly stuff from another pipe that I won't go into detail, but it really does create issues that you wouldn't believe. It really creates some serious concerns, and of course we have to make those emergency repairs as quickly as we can. Construction office, very briefly, new permits 37, permit updates were 11, and technical subcode inspections were 96 for the month of November. Code enforcement, 67 total inspections, 40 COs, 21 failed inspections, which is an unusual high number, I believe, but that's folks that are looking to get COs that are deficient, and he has to go back and check that. He also had 6 violations that were corrected and issued 8 summonses this month. Zoning office was very active with approvals for, I think there were 17 approvals, 3 denials, a mercantile approval, and a letter of denying bypassing the board process. Someone actually requested to circumvent the board process, and the zoning officer had to tell that person, no, you can't do that. So he gets involved in lots of things. Floodplain 10 approvals, various flood zone requirement letters, and substantial determinations. Fire department, Mr. Wells did state, they had a mutual aid call. They also did training with a live burn drill at the fire academy in Highlands. Recreation department, I won't read all the things, but the upcoming highlights for the holidays, tree lighting, of course, everyone's involved with this December 4th at 6 p.m. That's this Friday. Holiday Helpers is a program that will be run here at the community center on December 5th. They provide a program for child care for holiday shoppers right here and keep kids active during the day. Henry Hudson Key Club's been involved with that program here for probably 10 or 12 years. And also Breakfast with Santa will be December 12th right here. Under administration, we are continuing to work with all of our professionals. I gave a report to the council before with regards to facilities. We have letters in a packet ready to go to FEMA probably within the next week with regards to the borough hall and what our desires are for FEMA to act on that. We are continuing with the community center. We do have punch list items outside the contract, such as foam, some other systems, the installation actually of the stove, which is on us, and those items are being taken care of. The U.S. Army Corps did release today, and I did get an email, the public comments that were forwarded to the Army Corps and are part of the public record of this the Army Corps project have been posted on the website. So if anyone cares to, it is a public document, it's very thorough. It has the name and address of anyone who responded, although I don't think they directly connect you with the comments, but the comments are also listed. So I think it's about 34 pages of responses and letters, and if you need to, go to the Army Corps site. We'll also have a copy down at the Borough Hall. I don't know electronically, but I can try to make something up of it, but we'll have it if anyone would like to read that as well. That's it for now.
All right, thank you, sir. We're going to go down to the, skip down to number 5, Highlands Business Partnership.
The HFD had its final board meeting November 23rd. We approved our 2016 meeting calendar and obtained the facility use form in order to move our meetings back to the community center, which we're very happy about. Our goals and objectives were approved and submitted to Mayor and Council, as you already know. Budget was approved for $60,000, same as 2015, submitted to Council. For the record, $60,000 is collected from commercial property owners only. Our 2016 event calendar was approved and presented to Council for consideration. Partials backed by popular demand, the calendar has been expanded. For marketing and events, a holiday rock card has been distributed, highlighting HBP Town and other organizations' events taking place throughout the season. Tree lighting, December 4th, Henry Hudson Public Choir, Girl Scout troops, Caroling Lane Dances will be performing free hot chocolate and goodies, courtesy of the Rack and Horse and Buggy Rides, courtesy of HPP. The Holiday Lights Contest is open for any residential home within the borough's limits. The object is to showcase your holiday decorations. And then the registered addresses are placed online and people come visit to see the decorations. We do need more participation. We only have 7 registered today. You can register online at highlandsnj.com. You must register by December 18th. Judging will take place on December 19th. And $750 cash and bid bucks combined is awarded for first, second, and third place. Bid bucks are good at most establishments in Highlands. For the visual improvement, muralist Kovic is in the final phase of the mural project. The last postcard, I believe, is being worked on. It looks amazing. It was a $7,000 investment. HBP has hired in the garden services to decorate the parks and planters, and Ken Braswell hung the lights in Honey Park. The Veterans Park Boardwalk, Robbie Harrell will be completing the final railings this weekend, and we'll schedule another project meeting with Councilman Card, Mr. Hill, and Tribar as to the completion. Thank you.
Maybe that anticipation is for.
Yeah, and set up a celebration in the spring.
Sure.
Yeah.
Carla, just so you know, Regina Hawley told me today you can't eat cancer in the borough hall. But there's 2 boxes, don't take the toys for pot toys.
Okay.
There's a box for that.
And just to add, I didn't have on the report, we officially don't have the Mercantile yet, but there's a fabulous new yoga studio in town. And I've been meeting with a veterinarian who has now purchased a building in Highlands and is going to, come in for her instruction and whatnot, and custom, built to suit her practice, and she's actually going to live here as well, so we'll have a great new professional in town, and I'm really excited about that. Thank you.
Other business? Verizon brief presentation. Please. Do you need a mic? No, you don't. Oh, yeah. That's all.
I want to drop it for Thank Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, and the public. I work with Tilson Technologies. My name is Mr. Thomas. Yeah, I work with Tilson Technologies, and we are a authorized vendor for Verizon Wireless. We're here to seek permission from the municipalities to jointly use poles, utility poles that are already erected, that are already in the public, municipal public right of way, to install small network nodes to augment Verizon Wireless' existing coverage in the municipality. That's really it. That's all we're really looking to do. It's the pole is up already. It's existing utility pole. I have pictures of what it will look like when we're done. It's basically a small canister on top and a box. And what it does is it kind of offloads the existing Verizon coverage to allow better phone service, upload and download speeds, clear up some of the data that we're using for our GPS and everything. It's really just for more reliable service. Right now, it's only one proposed location. I have the address in here. That's not to say there won't be ones in the future. But for those who come back, obviously in front of everybody, what kind of permits would we need? Yeah, case by case. Yeah, no electrical permit, building permits, whatever we need. What we're really seeking tonight is just permission to move forward with that project. And I can provide you with. You want to see the picture? Please. I didn't know how many hearings, so I have a couple. It's still information, and that's
Roughly size of the
it's right on top of
Just
there.
so everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually have the dimensions here.
Where's the pole located?
So the pole is located at 93 Hillside Avenue.
Okay, all already there.
Yeah.
All's already there.
It's already there, yeah, it's already a 45-foot existing utility pole that's owned by Verizon Telecom.
That's I assume the one inside there.
Yes, so the reason for this is they've identified that that area is a dead spot. Yeah, so the goal is to offer better coverage without having to put up a new cell phone tower.
Okay. Any questions from the table? CFO also.
I know you, with power.
Yeah, well, so, the pole's already erected by Verizon Telecom, and it's in the municipal right away. So not really. I mean, we can work on an agreement if it needs to be, but, we haven't run into that yet, you know, with this, I mean, it's not something that, it's not put on the pole.
You're able to roll out like a 5-inch side?
Yeah, I mean, it's that, and also, like, this is something else that, if you guys identify more dead spots, let us know. Like, you know what I mean, because, yeah, we could do this and other
Pretty much a lot of the areas around.
Yeah, because I know this one is a bad spot, so we're gonna wanna put this one here and then, you know, we'll let, you know, if need be. That's really why, here, just for the blanket approval. I mean, and for this particular location, we can work on getting the permits we need to move forward with that.
Any questions, concerns? Okay, Chris.
I'm not so sure we should be treating Verizon very favorably from the point of view of they've abandoned Highlands in terms of files.
Well, that's why,
This is not files.
I understand. So what, is this the beginning of it?
It's not. This is, augment the existing cellular coverage. I don't have anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Files is another division?
Yes, it is, yeah. I mean, even the pole that's there is Verizon Telecom owned and we're Verizon Wireless. We even have to have it with us, you know what I mean? So I can't do anything about files. Yeah, which I get around.
Name and address, please.
Maureen Owens, what actually made you come to realize that one spot? What made you pick that one spot?
Yeah, they have, they data that shows where calls drop more and where phone download speeds aren't as good as it is. And so, that's what they come to, and the area that they're covering is between 500 to 1,000 feet, a small area, but right there, they're saying they have bad coverage, so the point is to try and think about it there.
I was gonna ask somebody else.
Is it, are you going to be offering Wi-Fi or just cellular coverage?
This is just a augmented.
They have different divisions, you're just
Yes,
cellular.
yeah, just cellular. All we're looking to do is make it cellular coverage as they're already.
Yeah, it's just to enhance the supplements.
Anybody
Anybody from Hillside now?
Anybody from up in that area?
No, but I always lose calls when you go off after the school.
Well, maybe
So you'd be in favor of it, man? I'll just an informal vote, I'll vote, okay.
I have a quick question.
Sure, man.
If you get more customers for Verizon in that area, and we give you permission to put that in, can we get permission?
Can we get files?
Yeah, I could, when I speak to them again, I can tell you guys the files.
So we want to get files, we want to look at that, we don't want to pay.
Files.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I don't even know how to file.
We get council people's cell phone service?
It's worth asking though, right? What I can do is if you can identify some of the dead spots, or we can try to fix that.
It benefits the community, make sure they communicate, maybe call 911.
Yes, that's really what the point is, you know, so the emergency service, you know, where to run it, just make a phone call, put it out there. Plus, if you want to upload something to Facebook quicker, you can do that too.
Okay, I'll vote for it.
Can I just ask a question? The whole hill is dead,
That's what you said.
so is this going to help all of the hill?
Well, this is the beginning, so you said you have any other, I said pretty much the whole area. So we gotta identify the other areas.
Yes.
This happened because a lot of people in that area called. So people around the corner didn't call, they're not gonna get called as a county street. Right?
Yes, exactly, we're trying to think of the areas that.
But-
Can I add to that? Please, sir. This would be especially good now since the county, you got a letter yesterday for the Medivacs, we have to call a 1-800 number. We'll no longer be able to dispatch Medivac to the county.
Okay, so this will help you then?
If you got, if you don't have service,
Sure.
and you can make a little Medivac.
Okay, right. Okay.
This would be a hard show.
How can this be, as you guys do now?
Mr. Pagnola will
We
take.
do resolution at the next meeting.
Yes.
The next meeting?
Yeah, October 28th.
28.
Do we need to? we don't.
No.
Thank you so much.
That is, could you give us a contact name and phone number or email address so people can contact you?
Of course.
So we get people around the area to
Yeah.
everybody's phone, and I'll call.
Information I can give you.
Yeah.
And then,
This is real quick, if you can,
the initial letter drop off, the name on there is the Verizon wireless zone in Southern New Jersey. Contact, so you can contact me. So
Okay.
I'll leave my information with Carol.
Yeah, it's something I can available to anybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good holiday.
You too.
Schedule the reorg meeting, date and time?
Okay, last year, I think we did it on the first Wednesday of January.
We didn't have I don't know.
Sorry?
Yeah, I think we did have a regular.
We did, because I went to the firehouse on New Year's Day and swore in Chief Wells, so it was separate last year. So what we normally have done in the past, in fairness to the new council people coming in, is to ask them if that's okay with them for their family, if any of them are coming in. So both council people are here. Is Wednesday the 6th good for you to be sworn in and have available people come that may or may not be coming?
Not a good day for me. I was gonna say.
Because we have a council meeting anyway that day.
Oh, in the evening?
Yes, yes.
Oh, not during the daytime.
No, regular time, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock executive.
It's not good for time. What time?
We didn't do that, you're right. We
Well,
did it 2 years
we
ago.
didn't have January 1st last year because of the election.
That was the year before.
No, that was May, that's why, and in June, so we didn't have.
Maybe it was July 1st.
Yeah, July 1st.
July 1st.
Marilyn?
I'm sorry.
She's thinking.
I mean,
Oh, we see smoke.
It's not particularly good for me, but I could make it happen.
Well, we have a meeting anyway that night.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be good for you. Want to do it on the first? How do you start the meeting?
Yeah.
You want to do it on the first?
Whatever, are you off on the first?
I'm not really open, but I can do, yeah, the first, what day is that, Friday?
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's on first.
First, okay. What time, noon?
Sure.
Okay, noon on the 1st.
And is that the rework meeting or the swearing?
Same.
Same.
You swear in.
Well, the reorganization meeting, I'm going to request that department heads be made available as well as subcommittee chair people be made available because it's a reorganization meeting. And
What if they already have plans to be ready the 1st? That's all, that's what I'm saying.
Well, maybe we have to have a separate reorg meeting as well as a swearing in meeting because I think.
And that would be the 6th.
Yeah, the 6th. I think we need to really examine the amount of subcommittees we have and re-examine our allocation of our resources of the council. We have 2 new council people coming in. So we need to discuss and allocate appropriate skill sets to the appropriate departments. I don't think it should be back and forth, a rubber stamp or a shake is bad. And we need to discuss it and really structure it so we move forward. That's what again, we're reviewing our net of the league municipality.
Good.
It's not something that should be taken like.
So.
Yeah, I'm just confused. I know usually, most of the time, we all talk collectively before the first. Go through the appointments, talk.
Yeah, me and Bruce are finalizing the list.
Who's not, so.
It didn't happen last time, it didn't happen when I was, brought on board,
Because we were brought in July, so his appointments are still valid.
How does that happen? Okay, but again, it was a reorganization meeting, period. That should have been discussed, but we're not, let's move forward. Again, moving forward, I'm asking for it not to be, back and forth, a rubber stamp situation. It should be vet out. If there's pre-meetings to that, then fine, so be it. Then let's do that. If there's pre-meetings, I have yet to see that happen. So this is my first go around with the new election. I'm just asking for clarity there. I want to make sure it's not a rubber stamp situation.
Okay, so what are we doing with the meetings?
So we're just doing January 1st just to swear in?
I guess.
But what about people's appointments that expire?
Then you, I don't know.
How can they discuss until they're sworn in?
I'm sorry?
They can have discussions.
Oh, they can actually discuss.
You just can't meet as a quorum, you can't meet as a
You
quorum.
can't meet as a quorum,
They're not
but you
sworn
can
in.
meet.
Well, true, it's
There's the
an
appointment.
oddity is connected to the law, but it's true. If 3 people are gonna be voted and sworn in that day, they can go to the meeting and discuss process and what they're doing, and it's not legal.
I think a reorganization
Yeah.
should be discussed in front of the public too. It's not something that should be behind closed doors. It should be discussed publicly on Tuesday, so the public's fully aware
of the elected officials and what their assets and what they're doing for this community. And that should be discussed in front of the public.
So we got a meeting on the 28th of this month.
Right.
And what are we doing? We have a meeting on the 1st and on the 6th?
You're meeting on Monday, Friday, and the following Wednesday.
That's a lot.
Oh, that's a lot.
I mean, that's what you gotta, I mean, if that's how you wanna do it, then you
Well,
gotta do it.
Again,
You can't have it both ways, I mean, if you don't wanna do it all in one
that's
meeting, then
fine,
we
I'll
have to
have the meetings all 3 meetings then.
So you know what, why don't we just do it all on the 6th? Do it all on the 6th.
Or do it all on the 6th.
But your
But these are the terms that
yeah, your
expire.
terms take effect
I mean,
on the first.
Your terms that expire on December
Yeah, you
21.
come in on the first, you
You're,
can't,
whether there's a rework or not, you assume office at midnight on
Yeah.
January 1st.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There, you don't even have to be sworn in technically.
and honestly, I don't even know what people's terms expire on the first.
Yeah.
I don't know yet, they're working on that.
We're working on that.
This is why
Yeah.
it needs to be discussed and make sure everybody's fully aware on who's going out, who's coming in, if someone's life parameters have changed. And it's our obligation to vet it out, make sure our
So
assets
go
are
back to
being managed.
six.
This is all for the conform, period. It's not
Okay, then
difficult.
tell us how you
Actually,
wanna do it.
can I offer an opinion here?
Sure.
Actually, in the past, always, the new council people, before they're sworn in, meet with the present council people that are staying. And they have to do that in December. And they have to talk about the appointments at that time. So that's what should be done.
And I have met with Carolyn and I've reached out to
But you want to do it all at once? It
Yes.
should be done all at once.
Well, if you have a quorum of the governing body,
It wouldn't be a quorum of the governing body.
if you have Frank, Becky, and Doug, then you have a quorum.
But if you do it before.
But if
You still have Frank, Becky, and Doug.
Yes, but Bruce, if you do it with other people there, it's not really.
If it's after December
Well,
3rd.
I would disagree technically.
That's why I'm
What you're
proposing,
saying, it didn't happen in
what it didn't happen for me.
Because
There's so many people talking at one time.
On the 28th and have it on the 1st.
Yeah,
Sixth,
since
that would
we're
be
not
your
in-
discussion date
I
on the
get, but-
28th in the public at the meeting. And he'll have his discussion to the public on the 28th. It's out and open, whether it's an appointment that you make or the mayor makes. And then on whatever date's best for them, the 1st or the 6th, I guess, you can let them pick.
Not very professional to be doing that.
Well, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what he's
I
asking to do.
personally would just meet with everybody and say, what are your thoughts? Let's have the discussion. If there's an issue, let's talk it out. I mean,
Yes, and then unfortunately, I don't agree. I think the public has a right to know why we're making the decision, why we're appointing people on certain positions and so forth and so on. It doesn't have to be an in-depth, and yes, I would encourage pre-communication before December 1st or the meeting, as you have done, Becky, and that's great, a compliment to you, and that, so that the community, transparency, so the community understands who's doing what for their community, so they know who to go to and who to reach out to, for whatever asset or problem they may have within their community. That's all.
So how about we just do the swearing in on the 1st? Quick little ceremony with
Ceremonial.
discussion.
Right.
Have a ceremonial swearing in.
Exactly.
but do we still know how we address people that their term expires on the 1st?
Try to be at the first.
I would suggest
council meeting.
you could discuss that at the 28th meeting, and then make a decision on it on the 6th.
So we'll have a list by the end of the week, Carolyn, of everybody?
Yeah, I mean, we're finalizing it.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
That works. And obviously send it to the new council people,
Yes,
so they know what we're talking about.
absolutely.
Okay, so for the record, what are we doing?
I'm actually, I'm actually meeting with them on Friday also.
Okay, so we're gonna do an informal, we're gonna do a formal swearing in on the 1st at noon,
Noon, okay.
correct?
Yes,
And then we'll have the regular council meeting on the 6th.
correct.
And that would be here.
That'll be
Yeah,
back to the
everything's-
session.
everything's-
I'm just making sure.
The two council people, and obviously the new, well, I assume is the fire chief. Okay. Cat T and R ordinance review.
Well, we did not vote by department yet, we know who it is, because they sat there for 7 years. Their 7th year, but it hasn't been voted on yet, so it should be Mr. Mallon.
The CAT TNR ordinance review. Carolyn sent me an email that was requested to be put on there because I believe it's up for review at the end of this year. Carolyn.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well,
To the
we're gonna have to differentiate that.
Tony sent you the email, but I requested that I put it on there.
So, Bruce, this is an ordinance that's up for review by the end of this year.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of this. We weren't involved in drafting it, but Carolyn Breon pointed out that there was a provision in here that requires that it be reviewed before the end of this year. I'm trying to find it in here now. Can you point me to those sections? That's it. Oh, you don't
It's
have
in
a copy?
5-6, 5-16, licensing, it's under licensing of dogs, but it's called the managed care of free roaming cats, otherwise known as the cat colony ordinance.
And I'm bringing it, which is currently no longer.
The program is no longer.
Well, the provisions, it's yet another ordinance that is on our books that we do not enforce.
No, well, the SPCA did,
I'm talking about managed cat colonies by residents. We do not enforce this. Residents are not tagging cats' ears, and they are not implanting them with body chips. They are not reporting annually to the council. Therefore, there are quite a few people that have these cat colonies downtown where I live. It's not just about where I live, it's where many of my neighbors live, where they literally have to shovel cat remains off their streets, and it's nasty to live next to. And it's just, it's a situation that people are guarded by an ordinance that has not been, for the most part, enforced, especially for these private residents that love to have 20 and 30 cats around their house, and their neighbors do not.
I do want to point out though, and it's very clear in the ordinance, that the SPCA was the sponsoring agency when this ordinance was enacted, and they actually met in this room to really encourage this program. Unfortunately, very shortly after we enacted our ordinance, they had a change of leadership, and I think some folks in the audience can attest to, they literally pulled the plug on what their commitment was very big in this whole program about helping with the chipping, about reporting and monitoring. They don't have the resources nor the desire at this point to fulfill any obligation, and there was no financial with them. So
I understand that, and that's just yet another reason why this should not be an ordinance on our books.
I don't disagree, I'm just giving you the background as to.
No, I remember when it was passed.
But they quickly dropped, and that's why we're faced with this. So I'm just giving you back up on the SPCA's involvement or lack thereof, and it really was critical to the success of the program. And Carolyn can attest to how many different people would call, especially in the first couple of years.
So my question is, can this ordinance be rescinded, and what are the steps that need to be taken in order for that to happen?
The council needs to request an ordinance rescinding it. It's really easy to draft an ordinance rescinding it. You can't do that, and
That's what I'm saying, do you need?
I don't think it would be, it can't be introduced tonight,
Obviously.
and it can't be introduced at the next meeting because you can't introduce it with one council on the next one. So in January 6th, we could have an ordinance that rescinds it if that's what you want to do.
Now, the only question.
Does anybody on the council feel that this ordinance is helping our community in any way?
It's hurting our community.
I just wanted to get consensus.
But what is the plan moving forward now? That's the next question. We can rescind this very easily. How are we going to move forward? Carrie?
Well, this is doing nothing, so anything's better than nothing.
Maybe get her in here or.
I mean, I know Chris is a part of bringing this to the table, so I don't know if you have any thoughts.
There's a lot. That's why we wanted to do it.
We want 10 pages.
County money. That's all.
Yeah, I said, obviously, cats do carry, owls, all animals do carry leash or plain sandwiches and cause problems. Maybe Carrie can, maybe with her knowledge, or can offer something to the table, or a viable solution to what we have here. That's all. I don't know what it is right now.
The problem at the time was that the SPCA wouldn't take the
Correct.
price. So we would have to pay
The cost
the cost of.
associated with it, we just, decent amount of money per cat too.
See, we just like all like about,
Probably.
I got 100 now.
just like, excuse me for a second, just let me make the net. Just like we have dog licensing, we just hired a full-time code enforcement officer with Carrie. We should be finding those people who are not, now, if someone's taking care of their 10 cats and they're chipped and they're all licensed and being taken care of, they're not the problem. What Carolyn's identifying, there are homes in this town that are lived in and have multiple animals, not just picking on cats. We need to crack down on it. Cats happen to be the primary target. Say raccoons too. Well, we need to start finding those people that refuse to take care of their animals and they're on those properties. So I think get Carrie's input plus encourage our full-time code enforcement officer, start finding people. We don't have to worry about paying for it. We'll get the people that.
If we rescind this, do we need to have something on the books?
Yeah, that's what I said.
So what is the
You
next
can't find
step?
anyone until this is gone.
I get that, so when we rescind this, let's introduce something that's
Right.
going to, and that's, I think we do a little homework, and we.
Oh, yeah, should be at the 16th.
Yeah, I would.
That or 6, Carol.
Yes.
Mr. Franklin.
Just
sorry,
like to call your attention to the essential problem before the TNR resolution was residents feeding feral cats is not enforceable by the PD unless they happen to see it at that point in time.
Or whether it's someone sees it and files a complaint.
Correct.
On the right.
And so you have David loath to complain about neighbors.
Correct.
They'll come here and complain, but at this point, they have to sign the complaint. And so, the whole point of TNR is cats are extremely territorial, all right? They will defend their territory. If they can't reproduce, they don't create big colonies, and it becomes manageable. If you take the cats away, you're creating a vacuum, and more cats come in. It's, people are living cats. I mean, some are residents, etc. So it's a vicious circle. If you, in fact, get the code enforcement officer to, at this point, I see a food dish outside, that's a violation. If you get that kind of enforcement,
Absolutely.
it might have enough teeth. But right now, before this other ordinance, this TNR ordinance, all right, which I agree with you, hasn't worked because of ASB stand. All right, there are people in town who want it to work, but that's a separate issue. All right.
Well, we're trying to move forward here. We do have a full-time code enforcement. Yeah, you should be writing summonses. There's violations for putting food out in cats. It's a start. With Carrie, maybe her recommendations, maybe there's aware of programs that we're not aware of.
Draft something else.
Draft something, it's moving in the right direction. It's also public education, letting them know that we need to communicate to the police department, communicate to certain people. If they're afraid of signing a complaint, come to a council member or a police officer, and we'll move in our code enforcement officer, we'll move in the right direction. It takes a team effort here.
Another thing you could do, I know they had one of our board members, because we bought them 10 cages, the Highlands Business Partnership, for the program, but another option was you can have these organizations that take care of the cats. I forgot the names, but I probably have it.
I remember talking all about this like 3 years
A mobile unit comes in and they'll do, we can get a sponsor to spay and neuter and all that other stuff, and that kind of helps reduce the, so maybe we can do that once a year, and maybe it's something we can look into seeing if we can, sponsor that again.
Definitely worth exploring.
Can you forward me the information here?
I have a quick question for Carla. How soon is our vet gonna be ready to open in town, and would she discount staying? Not free, because everybody has to support their business, but if she can cut us a break on feral spay and neutering once a month.
She's very excited, very eager. She has met with Dale. She does have some construction to do. There's a special loan that, for veterinarians through a certain bank that she's going through, so she has to meet certain criteria for the building. So I know she's, been in with Dale and stuff, and now it's a matter of, she's met with her contractor, she gave a deposit, and now it's a matter of, doing the construction
See
required.
if she'll consider it.
Yeah, she probably would.
Okay, thanks.
Shall we have public portion, sir?
Yes.
Mr. Dane, I'm sorry, 118 Miller Street. Mr. Dane, please. You have a question?
Do you wanna talk or you just signed in?
You just signed in? Okay. No problem.
Just in case.
Rick, I apologize, I can't read the last name. Commisser? Rich? Richard? Okay. Carol, you're on?
I'm good.
Please.
I'm all counted out.
Carlos Follow?
I was gonna pass, but I just forgot to
Okay.
put
You can't help
I
yourself.
forgot to put something else in our report that we purchased,
Good.
the vet, purchased, the new 20-foot, the Christmas tree in, Honey Park.
Nice. And that's Friday at 6, correct?
Yeah.
Well, sorry.
We'll like all of them.
Nice. Kim Corker?
It's for 315 Ashore Drive. I was wondering if the council or Pat or Tim, somebody could put together a summary from the New Jersey League of Municipality Conference. Concerned with how many nights of the hotel we paid for, and certain people only have one seminar that they checked into. That's, because you can go online and check in to see what courses people took. Some people went to 8, some people went to 6, some people went to 1. And I'm concerned that we're paying for a hotel room for, 1, 2, 3 nights. I'm not sure how many nights was included. And we're paying for these badges, and members might only be going to one meeting. And I just want to make sure that if they're going to one meeting, it's a day trip, they're not spending money overnight, they're not spending 3 days worth of meals.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You can see the meetings, but you don't know how long they stay down there.
Right.
Understood.
So, I'm not saying that somebody went to one meeting and then had a party for 3 days. It's just hard to tell from the payment of bills.
There were a couple of classes that you
Had
had to
issues
sign
with the
in.
scanner and we signed in on paper.
Yeah.
And there's
Right,
also
and-
classes that aren't part of that system, some of the professionals.
If that could be included in the report, that would be fantastic, just so that the public has better knowledge as to what happens in these months.
I don't know how you can report them in the program. Anyway, I didn't.
I don't know how you get them anyway.
But I see that everybody, they kept it,
I would just, on the honor system.
Yeah.
I went to a class and I signed in, because the scanner was
Part of
working.
the scanners were not working.
I know the classes that I go to at the hotels and the ballrooms, there's no scanning. I attended a couple 3-hour seminars,
But again,
but they're not at, they weren't at the convention.
But just to report so that, when I'm going in and looking at it, it's like, oh, well, yes, this one she checked in on the scanner, but then she went to these 3 other seminars.
That had to be
Okay.
great. Yeah, I don't see a problem. Can we get that done, guys? Sure. Please.
That's all.
Okay, thanks. Barbara, you too.
I have a question for Pat, you might have even said it and I missed it. For these notes, the 2 million one and the 800,000 one, did you say what the projects were, why you were going for them?
I don't think I did.
Oh.
Right, but the $2 million one is we rolled over a bond anticipation note, which included the PPDR program, I believe.
Okay.
The hazard mitigation program and the North Street pump station. So I did have them written down here. And there were simply notes rolled over from the prior year.
Okay.
The last note there was the special emergency note, which was 1.7 million the prior year, and now it's down to 875, I think.
Oh,
So that was for Hurricane Sandy, all the expenses that the town had to incur.
okay.
So that was that note.
And then you mentioned you passed a resolution for a new part-time clerk. I guess Tim, you know this. I'm just wondering what She's new for what services?
The clerical position is in the clerk's office to give Carolyn assistance where needed.
You're hiring an additional associate for the clerk?
Yes. Within the clerk's office, yes.
Okay. So that will be minimizing her workload?
It's not minimizing, it'll be helping her.
Yeah, especially with
I don't think
hours.
minimizing is what you meant to say, but yes, it'll take
I wish you could do that.
some of the burdens off Carolyn.
Thank you.
Kevin Brigham, 3 Beach Boulevard.
I didn't actually, I thought that was just.
That's okay, no problem.
But, I do have a question.
Sure, please.
For these resolutions, I guess, and resolutions, other resolutions, ordinances, are they posted online beforehand, before the meeting? or-
Yes.
Yes, sir. And any of the ordinances usually have a two meeting cycle.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Chris Francis?
I have a couple of quick questions. I'm not sure, as I read the code enforcement ordinance making it full-time, it also is an annual appointment. Do you mean it that way?
That's the way it's currently worded, that is not a change.
Okay, so at this point, what we're suggesting is at this point, we're going to make a full-time employee
Yes.
to be reappointed annually.
Well, that's what it already is, appointed annually.
Well, it's part-time.
Yes, the change is to full-time and changing the salary.
Correct. But remains an appointed position annually.
That was not changed, correct.
That was not
But it is a civil service classified competitive position.
So how does that fit? That was my next question. How does?
How do you have an appointment? Yeah, how do you have an appointment when you're a civil service
It
employee?
might be in conflict.
Sometimes that happens.
You might have to.
And then the third part of the question is, I assume it's Mr. Ricardo is the candidate?
He's in the position
Is that a fair
already.
assumption?
Yes.
Okay. So
He's in the position already.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
He's in the position already, he's not the candidate.
Okay. Not sure how you pay and have a position, but that's a separate issue. Is he, when does the civil service 3-year window start?
I would assume.
What do you mean by 3-year window?
It's not tenure in civil service?
He was technically promoted to a full-time position.
Okay, I'm not sure what that means.
He's already in civil service, he's already in the system, so you're saying, does he have a 3-year window?
Well, I thought it to put tenure. I thought it's.
They don't get tenure.
No.
I'm sorry?
They don't
Certain
get tenure.
positions aren't tenure, I don't believe that's a tenure position.
Okay.
Yeah, certain ones.
The second question is the community center, there was talk about, at this point, making rooms available for other groups to meet, or are there plans about that yet, or?
We've been talking about it, and we will also have to wait for a couple more punch list things to be done here.
Yeah.
But I think people can still be here.
Oh, yeah, I mean, they're still gonna do
Just
some
have to
stuff.
be your facility.
We talked about the other rooms.
Well, I say because at this point, the garden club couldn't be here, they wanted to. The historical society wanted to be here, they couldn't.
Did
So
they
I'm not
ask?
sure.
Was that last month?
I'm sorry?
Did they ask?
It's not too.
Yeah, December, we couldn't be here either.
I don't know, I understand. I think it was December that historical was trying to meet, and they went to VFW. It's not a big deal. I'm just saying, I want to make sure that, personally, I want to make sure that we open up this facility for all of these off-site meetings that are happening. The garden club met down at the Waterville Inn last night, in fact, so,
I'll find out.
You have to request
I'll
it.
have to find out internally, you're saying the request was made and denied, I'll follow up.
I didn't say that, Tim.
Okay.
Oh,
I-
but
they might-
they couldn't.
You said they couldn't be.
I'm not so sure they made a request, I'm not sure they felt that that was a verbal.
Oh, okay.
It's not-
I thought you said they couldn't be here.
We made it available in December.
We need to, all I'm saying is I would hate to find out that we don't do anything with the upstairs spaces to create additional meeting spaces, so there could be 2 or 3 meetings going on in the same period.
I think that's everybody's goal,
Okay.
in my mind.
But if they're interested in coming back, fill out.
I'm sorry?
If they're interested in coming back, you're having to fill out the facility.
For the year, for the year,
Oh,
all
you
year.
know,
They usually have their calendar, you know.
I understand, I just,
Pays $35 a year.
No, nonprofit.
We're
not nonprofit.
Thank you. No problem. Carol Bucker.
Okay. The addendum to the payment of bills, is that a one-time fee?
It's an ongoing payment. I want to be careful with what I can say because it's a PBA grievance, so it rose out of a grievance. But basically, we're making payments for certain Medicare payments for people who are not eligible because it ends up saving us money on insurance.
But they're all retired,
Yes.
whatever.
We're providing insurance for them anyway, Carol.
Okay.
We're paying for them to have insurance. If they don't have Medicare, it costs us about $1,000 extra per
Why
month.
don't they have Medicare?
Because certain police officers were not required to enroll in Medicare if they were hired prior to 1986.
I don't think any of them are
Not retired.
Started. Okay.
So it's saving us about $500 to $600 a month.
Terrific. The R-15-236, authorizing refund of tax overpayment. Who pays the taxes and who's getting the taxes back, and why are there two different items for the same exact property?
Generally, an overpayment happens when you have a mortgage company pay and the homeowner pay. There could be a change of title, so both the car owner and the new owner pay. Why is it listing the same block lot? Is this simply two different payments? I believe this money is going to be sent back to the borough. It's going to come out of that account and pay off a lien. So there was a payment, I believe, that was posted into the tax account that had an overpayment on it, and it belongs in the lien account. So the cleanest way to remove it from there and put it into this lien account to pay off the lien holder. So it's a little complicated. It's not costing her or anything.
So the borough didn't pay it and is not paying exactly themselves?
It's not, yeah.
You're introducing that ordinance and for a public hearing, and unfortunately I won't be here for that. But what happens then to Carolyn's salary, who is already at the top of the ordinance? You just raised her salary, taking the two boards plus the clerk's position, and you've made them all the clerk. Okay? So what happens, now the ordinance says that the top salary for the clerk will be $70,240. She's already getting that with combining all those salaries. Okay? So you're already at the top. You'll never get a raise again, you realize that, for the rest of your life.
Well, we could have done the salary ordinance every year as people get raises. No, I don't realize that.
And what I want to know is, like, suppose you can't make a meeting or something, how is the other person paid? Is it deducted from your salary, or are they paid separately?
Just like if I called out sick or something.
Well, calling out sick or when the meetings are canceled, a lot of the planning board and zoning board meetings are canceled.
Zoning board hasn't canceled one meeting since Sandy.
Well, the planning board, these things.
Maybe one, two.
Maybe not many now, but in the past, they canceled frequently.
I'm still doing
Well,
planning.
anyway, I don't understand what happens now. If the clerk is going to do those positions, and you're going to introduce an ordinance for a top salary for the clerk, then the clerk is already at top salary.
Let's do the same thing with the code enforcement.
Why, is that what he's making now?
He's now full-time, so he's making it in the ordinance.
Doing the same thing as Clerk in the ordinance.
Can I ask you a question on that topic?
Yeah, sure.
What is the benefit of,
Oh, I can't. I'm just curious.
yeah, what's the benefit of separating it? Why not just keep doing stipends, keep doing salary? You're still getting the same money. Why do you have to go to all the money? Why not keep them separated for different services? No?
I mean, these are really questions for the public hearing. I mean,
Okay.
so.
You'll hear.
Well, Carolyn's present salary and combination is not public hearing, that's now already done. It's in the consent.
That was set for December 28th.
Well,
No,
no, Carol's right. There was a resolution setting her salary.
Yeah, she's making it, right?
Yeah, so, you know, I mean, I don't care if you put them all together, but then, yeah, if it's not gonna be, in other words, the secretary for the planning and zoning board is not gonna get paid separately from the clerk. So then the clerk, then how do you pay the people?
Well, let me, I don't mean to cut you off, but you asked the question already, so I don't believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Pat or Carolyn, I don't think it's any different now than when it's a stipend. Say the stipend is whatever, what was it, 10,000, 5,000, whatever it is. If Carolyn didn't make the meeting, she still got the 10,000.
Right, doesn't change.
It didn't change, it's just putting it under one number rather than three numbers.
I know, but then you create another payment to somebody.
No. Just like before when she got the stipend, if she didn't
So
make
the
the
other
meeting.
person is volunteering?
No, it's part of Debbie's job as the assistant, whatever she is.
We don't pay her extra.
Just like on
It's not
vacation.
costing
Just like
anything.
if she covers it now, she doesn't get paid extra.
Just like if you have special meetings, I don't get paid extra.
Oh, well.
She negotiated a bad deal.
Yeah, maybe that's something to think about.
Oh, well.
I got you, I'm following.
Call over adjourned.
I have, I'm sorry, Brian. I have one question. Clam plan, at this point it's supposed to be done by the end of the year.
Carol, let me answer that where I can. When does our next agenda come out? For the meeting of the 20th?
Normally the Friday before the meeting.
So that would be Christmas Day, which is obviously.
So it'd be before that.
It'll be Thursday or Wednesday?
Probably Wednesday.
Read the next agenda, after Wednesday.
Are we getting out of the demonstration project with the taxes? I've actually been asked that a couple of times. And I saw it was on your,
We did discuss that.
We discussed it in executive session and we're taking action that we can right now and have more answers.
good.
Okay, I'll motion to adjourn.
Councilmember Mellon? Second, Mrs. Wells, all in favor?
Happy great holiday, everybody. We'll see you till the 28th.
Brian, what do you mean? It's pretty much.
I'll see you there.